this set up like it's supposed to be. Morning, Ray and Sandy. How are you? I did not anticipate doing this, but hey, why not? Let's get it. I figured I was building these benches. I might as well show you guys what we're doing. Maybe hang out a little bit. Can you hear me okay? Although that's good. You got the same Kiss shirt, huh? That's what's up. Perfect. Maybe some moments where it gets a little loud where I got to run the compressor or run one of the power tools or something. I'm building these outdoor benches people can use to sit out in the yard. People would find it interesting as I get it put together. And maybe teach some people how to do this, because God forbid you do something besides build a planter box, right? There are summer project videos all over the place. But if I build another planter box, I'm going to have to, I don't know, start a farm or something. So if you do care to follow along, I've cut a couple of long pieces here at 60 inches. I've cut some pieces here that are 18 inches long to long with a 15-degree bevel on one side. Five planter boxes. Oh, jeez. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I ain't hating on planter boxes. But geez, there's more things to build, you know? You could do something else. And these are a good revenue maker. I mean, I sell these for a couple $100 a piece. So it brings in another, well, I hate to admit it because then the tax man will say something to me, but I make another $400, $600. Good weekends, another $1,000 a week off of this, so it helps. All right, so what I'm doing now is all of these are going to be set. I'm going to do this from inside to inside at 19 inches. But the first thing I need to do is get these screwed in flush on each end so I got something to pull against. Just a minute. These little coffee cappuccino dryer dishwasher soap containers, this is such a damn good screw holder. Wish they had these a lot longer when I was younger. Of course, I'd start the day with a dead battery. Hold on. There we are. Popping fresh. In the very beginning, hey MG, good to see you. In the very beginning, I only put one screw in each of these as I'm assembling it. That way I can cock it back and forth. I can twist. I can do whatever I got to do until I got it in place. Then I'll lock it down with the second screw. let's get this thing buttoned up. I already had somebody come at me earlier this morning. What are you doing live? You should be at church. Okay, well, I don't want to talk about being at church or not being at church. How about I talk about just putting some benches together and making some money? How about that? All right, so I've set this inside to inside at 19 inches. Let me make a mark right there, and then I can. I don't know about where you guys are. It is humid here. Well, for West Texas, it's humid. Y'all hurricane people can keep all of this nonsense. This is ridiculous. 19 inches to the inside. Smallwood Lock, good to see you this morning. I guess I could flip that around on you guys. Why aren't you in church? I ain't gonna give you any grief. It is what it is. If I paid for the paid version of StreamYard, I could show y'all a picture. Well, let me get my phone. Maybe I can show you a picture that way. Give you an idea of what I'm making. Camera. Okay. Let me fish one out of here real quick. I make about a bajillion of these things, but I hardly ever take a picture of them. Here we go. Get this up at the camera where you can see it. We're going to build one of these guys. It's a cool little double bench with the table in the middle, place where you can sit out in the yard, relax, have a drink. Morning, old Path. Good to see you. These things always are really good for me. They're a nice little side hustle. I get to pull in a few $100s every week extra on them. And I'd be willing to bet you guys ain't going to be mad at me one bit if I show you how to make a little extra money, right? I'm doing my best to hang on to the chat there. Morning, Gretchen. Good to see you. Who's to say you didn't already go to church? You're right. I might have. That is what it is. I think think at the end of the day, I'm not the one that anybody has to answer to, you know. All right, we're looking pretty good. Let's check this guy for square real quick. Where's the big square? Get out of the way, I can't get my square. Gee, stand right in the middle of the way. Why don't you? Anytime you want to let the rest of us be productive, that'd be great. Yes, you're absolutely right, Woodlock. I'll tell you a little bit more about why I don't dig in too incredibly hard on making these things super fancy is because I live in a college town, and the majority of the time, the folks that are buying these are these college kids. They're going to take them out, put them on the backyard porch, and they're going to beat the living hell out of them all college semester. And then they'll throw them in the fire. Then they'll come back next semester and do it again. So I encourage you to follow along if that's what you choose to do. Make them as fancy as you would like for your own application. For me, jab it together. Let the kids go tear it up. They can come see me again next semester. All right, again, I'm going to pull this to 19 inside to inside. That looks good. These are fun to make. Well, after about the first 100, they're not so fun anymore, but it is a good project. It's not that difficult to make. And like I said, financially, I sell these for $150, $200 a piece. So it lets me bring in a little bit more dinero to the house every week. I went down to the big box this morning, and even with elevated prices and the rest of that, I bought enough material to make 4 of these. And locally, with 8.5% sales tax in state, my bill was about $115. So it wasn't too bad for me to make 4 of these, crank them out the door, get $700, $800. I think I'm doing pretty good with that. So there's my first frame complete. As complete as it needs to be for the time being. I can start on the second one because I'm batching 2 of these out this morning. Let's get this out of the way. Start over from scratch for those who want to follow along. I start with 2 pieces of 2x4, 5 feet long on the dot, 60 inches. Those are my runners. And I build the seat frame with 4 more blocks, 18 inches long to long, cut with a 15-degree bevel on one side. Pine, no mahogany or oak. Well, if they want to pay for mahogany or oak, I'll do that. They sure ain't going to get it for $200. I'd make them out of wenge if that's what we want to do, but they're going to have to pay for it. All right. So again, I'm going to jab these frames together. So at the end of the day, the frame has one side that's 90 degrees, the other one that's cantilevered at 15 degrees. This is all very impromptu. I just jabbed all this together and kicked the live on. So I apologize in advance for things like the camera angle or you can't see anything with the hoop. I'm sorry. I just figured since I was done it, I might as well bring y'all along and we'll have a ball talking about it. Heaven forbid I teach one of y'all how to do it so you can make some money. It'd be cheaper to make it out of fence pickets and more trendy. Yes. Matter of fact, I got a whole bundle of 8-foot dog ear cedar fence pickets that I'm going to use for the slats, for the seat in the back. All right. Draw this one inside 19. And the cool part of these is this is an incredible beginner project. You don't have to be terribly accurate with this thing. You don't have to be terribly anything with this thing. You just have to understand the dimensions, have a basic understanding of your tools, and be able to slap this thing together. And it will be a huge confidence boost. Now, some other things that I can talk about as far as why do I choose 2x4? Why do I could use cedar or I could use something else that's more water resistant or I could stain them, paint them, whatever. I'll talk about that. For any of you that ever build something for somebody else, I guarantee you will agree when I tell you the minute you paint or stain something one color, somebody will come back and say, well, I really like that if it wasn't that color. Can I get it in this other color instead? It never fails. It will always happen. So when I advertise these, I advertise them as unfinished. And I advertise the materials that I made them out of because they're budget and that keeps the price down so you can afford it if you want to get one. Now, why is 2x4s suitable for around here? Well, I'm in West Texas. It is drier than a senior citizen home around here. I do not see problems with mold or rot. That doesn't happen around here very often at all. That thing just didn't want to sit right. Let's drive that in a little further. There we go. And again, the majority of the people that's getting these are young college kids. That's why I never paid to stain anything to make. Exactly. Most of the time, these young college kids, they're just going to get them a couple $100, beat the hell out of them during the school year, call it a day. It's not like they're looking for an heirloom to take home to grandkids. What they're looking for is something they can beat the hell out of during the semester and not make mom and daddy mad about the fact that you tore up some lawn furniture I bought you. 19 to the inside. And again, if you notice, I'm only jabbing one screw in each of these. That way, as I need to twist them or torque them or move them around to get them in square or whatever, then I don't have them locked down. I'll do that with the second screw later. Morning, John. Good to see you. Inside. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I've been busting my butt to try to get this design as easy as it could be for a beginner. So you'll see here in a minute, I hope I accomplished that. It's all butt joints. It's all construction lumber. Easy breezy. If any brand new aspiring woodworkers come back and they tune into this recording after the fact, you'll notice that I'm running two drivers. I have one that's drilling a pilot hole, the other for driving my screws. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you try to drive a screw without running a pilot hole, you'll split your wood apart. So this keeps all of that from happening and keeps it nice and solid. Frame number 2, out the way and done. All right. The jig. I built so many of these, I made myself a template jig. If there's something that you plan on mass producing, I talked about this in my batching video. I don't know if you guys even watched it or whatever. But this will save you a ton of time. I've got all my dimensions for everything I need to cut. All right. So I need a left and a right set of legs and an arm. All right, so I need to cut myself 4 pieces at 23 inches. I'll jump over the miter saw and take it out real quick. Adjust your volume. I don't want you blowing your speakers out or blowing your eardrums after I kick on this miter saw. Four pieces at 23. I know you can't see me, but I'm going to run one, then I'm going to set up a stop block and run off the other 2 real quick. If you're following along, you're jotting this down or whatever, I cut to make 2 benches. I've now cut me 4 pieces square at 23 inches. Now I need 4 pieces, 21 3/4 square to the long of a 15-degree miter. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Let me get a cut. 21 3/4 to the long side. One. There's two. Three. And 4. I guess the other reason I'm doing this on live is so you guys can see that I do this, so you can see how long it takes me in real time. All right, so this time I've cut one 21 3/4 to the long end with a 15-degree miter on that side. I got 4 of those. And then the last thing I need to make is my back leg, which is 23 3/4 with a 15-degree bevel on each side. I promise if I'm not saying this clearly, it'll all make sense in a hot minute. As my son likes to say all the time, let me cook. Give me a minute and let me cook. Three. And I need one more. All right. We have all the pieces for our arm assemblies. Smallwood Light says something else you could do is have a finishing weekend. Park for the students, a little food, some soft drinks, teach them how to finish the bench. That'd be fun. I think they'd really like that a lot. But, well, they tend to find themselves gravitating something a little more destructive, if I'm being honest. At the end of the semester, there's a couple of them that are really fired up. They'll come back to see me and ask questions about how to get in woodworking or whatever. But most of them, not going to lie to you, they'll throw them on the bonfire and just burn them up at the end of the year. So it is what it is. I'm not mad about it at all. Okay. So let's start assembling our armrest and our legs. We're going to need 2 lefts and 2 rights. Here's where the jig's going to come in. and an extra bit of 2x4. If you guys end up wanting to build these yourself and you want some dimensions, just let me know. I'll get it figured out. All right. So I take my square 23-inch leg. I butt it up 90 degrees right here. Flush to the corner. Jab a couple screws in. Now I have to be mindful of the fact that I'm needing to build 2 of these opposite of each other. I need 2 lefts and 2 rights. Because I can't tell you how many times I've screwed it up and built 4 lefts or something. Had to undo it all and do it again. Didn't I just put a battery on this thing? All right. So now here's where my jig comes in. Slap that up there like so. My long leg looks just like that. And there is one of my leg assemblies. So now I'll build a right to go with it. Get this out of the way. So to make sure I do an opposite hand, take my 23, here's my 21 3/4, and I put my square corner on this side this time. And like I said, if you choose to, I mean, you can go whole hog with this thing. I mean, you can fancy it up and paint it, stain it. Fancy woods, exotic joinery. Woodlot, thank you for coming in. That one went right through a knot. That's why that one was rough like that. All right, flip my jig over. Run my back leg the other direction. And there's my opposite hand. Let's build 2 more. This is taking a little longer than you think because I'm actually building 2 of them at once. Dad, good morning. I don't know. I think this might also be a pretty slick idea for those of you who, let's say you're going to have a gathering. Or if people want to come over and spend some time at a special event or something like that. But these are good, quick things you can just slap together, throw outside. Everybody has a good time. Chuck them on the bonfire after you're done. Build one more the other direction. Which starts with my square on this side. I'm going to try to bring these in with a drill instead of an impact. The hammer and that impact sounds like it's about to go stupid. That's better. It ain't optimal, but sounds a whole lot better than listening to other. I tell you what, temperature-wise here in West Texas, it is the perfect day to be working. It is the same temperature out here as it is in the house. I know you love days like that where you walk outside and it doesn't even feel like anything changed. It is perfect. A little humid, but I'll live with that. All right. So we got our leg assemblies for the ends and our seat frames done. Show you how easy these things are to slap together for a new person. The only measurement I'm going to need is this guy right here from now on, really. For assembly, that is. Until I get to cutting the backs and things. So I'm just going to chop this in half. Half-ish. Looks good for my house. We'll throw one of our seat frames up here. And I'm throwing it with the long side down. I don't know if you can see that, but the bevel on the back side goes this way. And now all I got to do is take my left and right legs, stick them right underneath like so. And the spacing that I need to get them set where they need to go, 1, 2 before. That puts them exactly in the right spot. And now I can clamp all this together, get it screwed together. We got the whole seat frame. All I gotta do is put the backs on, the slats, and we'll be good to go. Ready to roll. Start finishing these guys up. So as you can see, these guys don't take very long. And it doesn't really take a considerable amount of skill. I bet it'll make a lot more sense if you're not seeing it yet once I invert them. Then you'll be able to make sense of it a little better. That seems counterintuitive. It seems the more humid it is, the thirstier you are. Well, if I grew a little muscle this morning, I'd probably be able to drive that a little better. Appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me this morning. I hope it's at least entertaining to some degree. Screws in that other side. Excuse me, I'm being waiting for a minute. I'm gonna try to hurry. It's like, Mike, get out of the way! All right. Jam that up corner. Just like that, the seat assembly for the first bench is done and over with. Let's see if I can do my best to flip this thing over, and then you'll see what I'm thinking. You'll catch what I'm throwing at you at that point. All right. Let me reconfigure a little bit. See if I can let you see a little better. All right. Can you see what I did now? Is this a better angle? There we go. Did I fix it? Man, that's what I get for touching my camera. Am I back? You guys hear me? We're good? All right. Hot dog, we're back. All right. So now we got this set. Let's put the legs on the other one. Then we'll get ready to do the seat backs. Put the tables on them. Start throwing some slats on. And for those of you who thought there wasn't going to be any sea or dog ear fence pickets in this, you are sorely mistaken. They're coming. All right. Let me flip this computer back around so I can see what y'all talking about. All right. I tagged the StreamYard link up there. If any of you want to join in and just talk, I don't mind that at all. Probably help me out because I'm wired in the back and I can't read what the chat is saying half the time. But it's up to you. If you do feel like joining in, you are more than welcome. All right, that's flush up front. That's all I need. Put the other leg on the back side over here. Just like that. All right. Let's jab these legs on here. I'm gonna set my clamp in the way. There we go. Now you can tell this is live. Where the hell I put my drip? There it is. Say it with me. I just had it. I can't ever screw that good with my right arm because I had a stroke, so it's not very strong anymore. Clamp out of the way over here. Hey, Wilbur, good to see you, buddy. Again, figured I'd walk you through a really, really easy beginner project. And something that lets me bring in a couple $100 every other week. All right, Ray, thank you for stopping in, buddy. Oh, all right, let's get those last screws in. Let me start on the back. Be ready to send these things out the door. Our customer, her name is Shaylin, and she needs these for the family coming over to hang out this evening. They're going to try to do some kind of a Mother's Day thing for her and her mama and her grandma. Figured they'd sit out in the yard and have some drinks. I like that. All right, that's another frame down and out the way. Okay, now we'll get started on cutting the backrests. If I end up putting plans for this together, I have them listed, well, they're listed on my jig at 24 inches a piece, which you would think, in theory, that works out well. You got an 8-foot stud, chop it in quarters, call it good. But any of you who frame houses or do anything construction, then you already know that stud ain't 96 inches long. There, especially these days. They give you these other ones that are called stud length, and they're like 92 and a fraction or something, making up for the bottom plate and the green plate, and just another way to just sell us less lumber. That's basically what it is. So I have found that whether or not that seat back is 24 inches or 23 and 7/16, nobody seems to notice. So what I do is I get my stud, I cut it into quarters, whatever that ends up being, as long as they're all four the same, they go right here, and call it a day. Let me go ahead and get on that. Get in the truck, get out of the way. Now that's got the pith in the middle. Hey, there's a good course. Those will stay straight. Set you over this way a little bit. There we go. All right. So, like I said, I know this ain't 96. What does this come out to? Dead on 96. Except that I got to account for this is 1/8 of an inch. So that'll take, with 3 cuts, that's 3/8 of an inch I'll take out of it. All right. Let me get my writing utensil from over here where I set it. Because I'm an old guy that sets down stuff and forgets where the hell he put it at. I'm going to walk around the shop for about 20 seconds while I kick myself in the tail trying to figure out what I did with my pen. And then I'll get ticked and grab another one. All righty. So this is true 96, because of course they're going to make me look like an idiot. I'm going to knock that 48 on the nose. Double check it from the other end. 48 on the nose. So I'm going to straddle my line to make this cut. Watch your volume, guys. I'm about to kick this on. All right. Those come out the same. Good. So let's pull 24. Pull 24, which is about an eighth off, which means that I can kick a field goal right between them two hash lines and be straight. All right. All right. Ears. So there is my 4 seat backs. Oh. Kick back the other direction. Y'all holler and scream at me if you can't see anything. Not like I'd be able to hear it, but just type very loudly. All right, so I'm setting these guys where they're flush with the bottom of my seat rail. That's good. Do the same right here. And then again, if you double back and you follow this and record it, and then you come back and watch it again later, or you're catching it after the fact, I'll show you something that I like to do in order to make sure that we're good to go. And that's to find any old string or any old straight edge. And just make sure that all 4 of these are sitting up at the same level. If they're not, then I've got some adjustment room. Yeah, well, Emma, how you doing? Ah! Oh, he got jokes this morning. All right. I am most certainly not a private tutor. I just ain't done it on live yet. Thank God for that. I mean, hear my wife tell it, y'all can smell it through the camera. Okay, so we've got our 4 backs done. We've got our seat frames, our arms together. Let's get ready to screw all of this. And the more we screw together, the more this will bind up and lock up. Like I said, most of these you'll see, I only put 1 screw into each of the joints. And I did that so that I can rock this thing or cant it or tilt it or do whatever I got to do to get it into shape so that I'm not putting something together that looks like a dog leg. Whew. You know what? I think I'm going to find my lighter. I'm going to take a break and talk with you guys. What time we got? We got 10:58. Local time anyway. So I got about 6 hours to beat these up, get them done. And for those of you that have been with us from the beginning, I mean, how long has this battle I've been going on? About an hour? I got 2 of them put together in just this time. All I got to do is put the tables in, put the slats on. It needs to be ready to roll. I do not command an incredibly high price for these things, guys. Most of the time I start out asking $200. I've let them go for $100. I mean, it's not like I'm selling you, you know, some kind of fine woodworking here. I'm stabbing together some things that you can beat up during summer and call it a day. But for me, that works well because these are things that I can put together real quick. I can get them out the door, and it brings into the house another $100, another $200, another $500. Every weekend, I can just slap some of these out and call it good, you know? Then during the summertime, it helps out a lot. And my kids' birthdays are during the summer. My wife's birthday's during the summer. 4th of July. It lets me have a lot of extra money to do the things I want to do for my family. And if that's what happens and I end up putting together some slap together 2x4 furniture and people are happy with it, I am not mad about that at all. Now you see what I did right there? That's what I'm talking about with only having one fastener, is that I can adjust this thing left to right until it's plumb or it's even with the rest of them, and then lock it down later on after the fact. I'm trying to read the chat. I got it across the saw, so it's tough. That's my dad joke for the day. I rarely get what I think it should be worth. Apparently, I'm worth less. Hey, listen. I've talked about this several times. And anybody who's been at this for a minute can say the same thing. You will look at a project that you finish and you will see every booger, every mess up, everything that you did that you can't stand, and you want to knock half the price off just because it's so ugly to you. It looks like it's painted in neon. But you know who doesn't notice it? The people you don't point it out to. And if it's bad enough that they can see it without you pointing it out, well, then it's a good exercise for you to be able to go back and make the corrections you need in order to disguise that and hide your crimes. I think that's a good part of being a woodworker in general, is being able to hide your mistakes or at least correct them so that you can keep on keeping on. All right, I'm going to fashion these back slats. Oh, goodness. slats are on. All right. Can y'all see all this all right? Those of you who are paying attention. Gotta go. Send yippee. See y'all later. Thank you for stopping in, DIY Llama. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Let's cut our slats for our table. Which we're going to use a 2x4 to set our height so that it's consistent and level. Now I've got this guy left over with a 15-degree bevel on it. I'm going to use it to cut these two runners that will come out here for the table. I'm going to give myself a little extra here. Oh. Yeah, guess what I did? I lost my pin again. Got a hell of a number. No, I didn't. It's right there. Ha ha! No, I didn't. Joke's on you! All right. I'm going to set this right here. Tie them two together with a clamp. Run this back like here. Let this go all the way till we're flush. That's good enough for me. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. I'm gonna rip these down the middle of the table saw. Oh, let me get everything out of the way. That's what I get for sitting my audio stuff in the way. Move out. Yep. That was part of the course. So watch your ears, guys. Go right here. I'm gonna take a second 2x4. Make me straight into the back side. So now I know those two guys will go in here just like this. Hey Mike, you been using your hands long? Well, not after the stroke, not really. Set this other guy over here. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I think the weather is great. I think it's wonderful to be out here. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm gonna cut 2 more for these insides here. Which I will cut at 12 inches. Actually, I'm gonna give myself a little bit more just to make sure. Run this in half, rip it on the table saw. Hey, and I just made me push stick. That worked out. These guys go right under there. And I can cut them off flush at the bottom with my pen. Jeez. Hey Mike, there's this thing called a pocket. You ought to put a pen in it. That'll help you out a lot. He says as he slaps it right back down on the bench, didn't even think about it. Watch yours, y'all. Does that salt bog the mic down pretty bad? Or is it tolerable? Or It's not too bad, but the warning is appreciated. Of course. I just about got these table frames stabbed together, and then it'll be fence picket time. The time half of you have been waiting on.
You have to look at this that I found while I'm using my spoons to do stuff.
Say hi to everybody, dear. I'm on live.
Oh no!
It's okay. What you got? Okay. Molly came to show me an article. She didn't much want to be on live. Sorry, y'all.
I look homeless.
They can't see you. They can only hear you.
Hurry up and get done so you can take me to lunch.
Take you to lunch. What'd you do to afford me taking you to lunch?
I want an omelet.
That's breakfast. What do you mean an omelet?
I don't care, I want an omelet.
We'll figure it out. Love you, dear. Who eats an omelet for lunch? What the hell is that?
A woman who's been thinking about that omelet since 4 a.m.
Chat, what do you think? Do you eat an omelet for lunch? I'm gonna gee, that sounds awful communist to me. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner doesn't matter all the time. All right. Well, the good news is I'll have enough time to beat one of these up so you guys can see. Then I'll take the woman who is the most importantest to go get her omelet. All right. Can you guys see this whole thing well enough? I got my 2 arm braces, 50 inch, got my table set ready to go. My back rests are in place. I think I'm ready to start cutting up. Oh, okay. I'm just going to say, to start cutting up the fence pickets. Now you can go as simple as to just cross cut these things, slap them on here and call it a day. I like to rip them in half and space them out a little bit better because it gives a little bit more refined look. But I do have to take a second I think talk with you for a minute because I blew a hole in my air hose. And if I'm gonna run the Brad dealer, well then I'm gonna need to replace the hose. If you were itching to come talk to me, that's absolutely fine. I think this would be a good break in what's going on. The link I pinned at the top of live. We can all shoot the breeze while I replace my air hose, which has definitely seen better days. But it served me well. I think I ran that hose probably 6-7 years. It's about time to replace it. I think I got a longer one this time than I had last time. I think I bought a 25 or 30 foot. This time I got 50 foot, which is good. You know, it's funny. These two hoses, I don't know if you guys can see where the hoot. Let me change it where that sun isn't blinding y'all. There we go. Like most things, I think all of these hoses are made in the same place and just sold under different names. I mean, this one says it's a Diablo brand. This one says it's a Merlin brand. I don't see a damn difference to you. All right. Just change some fittings over. I don't think I got any Teflon tape. It's all right, I think electrical tape will do just fine. Close enough for my house anyway. So what are you guys working on today? Anything?
You filming?
Yeah, we're on live. What's up, buddy?
Oh, never mind.
You sure?
I mean, I was gonna ask you for a favor that kind of required you to come in here, but you're live, so.
What do you need, baby?
I don't fully understand this yet.
Bring it out here. Let's walk through it. What you're looking at is a pack of microwave popcorn. Why you're eating it at noon, well, that's a whole different question, but that doesn't matter.
I don't know, I just like popcorn.
I ain't mad at you. Did you eat breakfast?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Take the cellophane package off of the outside of it, leaving you with a paper bag folded in thirds.
Yeah.
When you unfurl it, you'll see there's writing on the bag.
Yes.
It says this side up.
Yes.
So you place it in the microwave, of course, with that side up. That's kind of a given.
Yes.
And elsewhere on the parent, you'll find the written instructions of how long you need to do it.
I mean, it's just only 2 minutes.
So try it for 2 minutes and listen to it popping. You've heard it in the microwave.
Okay.
Listen to it. If it's still popping, you might want to let it keep going until it begins to diminish.
Okay. Okay.
Love you, kid. What are you guys working on today? Anything? Did I lose you? Are you guys still here? Maybe. I think it's going to work just fine. Yeah, I do. I got to tell you guys, I could not believe it. I hit 200 subscribers recently. And I know some of you guys got channels that are 5, 10 times bigger than that, whatever, but it was incredible for me. I really didn't think in the least that 200 people would even look at me funny on there. But sure enough, I've got nothing but encouragement and support and motivation and people hollering at me and cheering me on and telling me to keep going. It still confounds me, but I am still thankful nonetheless. All right. How long has it been since you checked your hose to make sure it was good to go? For me, way longer than it should have been. Way longer than it should have been.
Can you help me put it in the bowl, please?
Absolutely. I will help you put it in the bowl in just a minute, kid.
I'll come bring it out. 1 second.
All right. Been holding up for the better part of 10 years. Gretchen, you're absolutely right. I think they got your back. Sometimes whether they like you or not.
I'm not good at getting it out of the bag.
Can't get it out of the bag, huh?
Yeah, I can't get it out.
That's fine. Love you too, kid.
Also, I'm not sure I did it right. And well,
Well, the bag is inflated, which indicates you probably did it well.
Yeah, but the last time the bag was inflated, there was still like 30 unpopped kernels in there, so I just kind of ate kernels.
Well, it's never going to be perfect, kid.
There you go. Ooh, I actually did it okay.
You did. There you are, friend. Enjoy your snack.
There you go. Sorry for the bother.
The breakfast of champions, right, guys? Microwave popcorn. All right. Let's get the hose buttoned up. Back in where she goes. Then we can start working on getting the slats put on these benches. Side quest complete. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. I think for me, the disadvantage of being out in West Texas is that everything dries out so fast, and I think that's what happened to the hose. It just dried and cracked up. That was that. Ooh, this is going to be a conundrum. This thing is much longer than the other one I had. I'm not mad about it, I guess. Hey, Ricker. You're all right? I ain't worried about that. Y'all watch your ears. I'm going to kick this compressor on for a minute. Get some air going. That took long enough. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's refill the glue bottle, then we'll get ready to cut some pickets. Finish out these benches, get ready to call our good friend. Hopefully come pick them up. For those of you that are just coming in, Building some outdoor garden benches. Find the picture again so you guys can see it. There we go. Get in close to the gasket. There you go. Can you see that all right? That's what we're making today. They're really easy. They don't take very long to do.
Yo, the
What's up, son?
mom said that we're going to lunch, like, close to now, and she said if you wanted to go.
That might be a plan. Boys, I may come back and continue on these benches here in a minute. It sounds like the wife wants to take me to lunch. Well, she wants to take me for an omelet. I don't think that's lunch. But you saw what you guys did. If you want, go back and look at the replay so you can catch up to where we're at. When I get back from lunch with the wife, then I'll come back. We'll cut the slats. We'll get those put together and get them out the door and get them on their way to the house. Thank you, all of you, for joining in. I appreciate you coming in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday morning. And again, I'll shoot again. I'll come back on live as soon as me and the wife get done doing what we're doing, taking the family for breakfast. And we'll get these things buttoned up. Thanks, guys.